Hi, welcome to Off Script. I'm Zach Lewis.
And I'm Dr. Draper.
Today on the show, we're talking about RRR. Oh my God, how have we not seen this movie yet? Indeed. I can't actually roll my R's, which was a pain in Spanish class growing up. But we actually watched the feature. It is on Netflix. It's been on Netflix a minute. It's just been awards season, and there's been a lot of stuff coming out locally that we wanted to see. But we had a slow week. We watched it. It is 3 hours. I'm excited to talk about it. But before we get there, we talk about the Oscars. The Oscar noms are out. And if you're not a regular movie podcast listener, it's a big deal. All right. These things are going to go on to shape cinema for the next decade. And I want to talk about what's coming out. Big nominees. Notable before we jump into it. 11 nominees for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, my God, 11 nominations, Andy.
Yeah. So impressive.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredibly impressive. Excited to talk about that. Before we get to it, we talk about the news. Our first story this week: Antoine Fuqua is doing a Michael Jackson biopic for Lionsgate, shooting later this year. This is worth talking about because I think this is like the one. This is going to be the MJ biopic. This is going to be like the big tall swing at it. This isn't going to be some like slouch straight to Netflix feature. This is it's going to be a theatrical something. What do you know about this, Andy?
So Antoine Fuqua is going to be starting principal photography this year, 2023, for the Michael Jackson biopic. It's going to be decades spanning, cover performances, controversies, that whole sort of thing. It's going to be wild. The tough thing about music biopics is how do you make them different? How do you distinguish them? Because they all hit a number of similar beats. And so you have to try to be really creative in different ways. I think of things like Rocket Man was wildly different from something like Elvis. So they have to find a way to tell this story in the most kind of unique way possible.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where this movie goes based on who they got working on it. It's gonna be produced by Graham King, who also produced Bohemian Rhapsody in 2018. So they got a big music biopic producer. That movie won 4 Oscars, which is bananas. It's written by the guy who wrote Skyfall, Gladiator, The Aviator, and Hugo, John Logan, which is crazy. And Anton Fuqua, which is no slouch. We don't know who it's gonna be, right? We don't know who MJ is gonna be. We have no idea. Also, just for our own internal polling, Andy, when is this movie going to end? Like what in like late 80s, you think? Is it going to do like the Rocket Man thing when it kind of just like fades to credits and skips like Elton John getting fat? Do we miss all the drama or does it dig
I mean,
in?
there's
What do you think?
there's like 20 years past that of, there's the controversies of the 90s and 2000s. And of course his death. I mean, his death is a hugely tragic event as well. Like you can't not have that in there as well. It's got to span the whole thing.
I hope so.
Maybe it starts at the end. You start with the death and then you flash back throughout his whole career.
Yeah.
Hire me Hollywood. Multiple narratives happening at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely did not get over Rocket Man cutting like 20 years short. I was like, when's he gonna do Lion King? when's Elton John gonna work with DreamWorks? So hopefully
like
the MJ
Bohemian Rhapsody did the same thing.
Yes, yeah. Well, that has a little bit of an explanation for cutting itself short, but I mean, it ends at Live Aid in Bohemian Rhapsody, and like Freddie Mercury had a few more years after that, didn't he?
Another
Like
7 years.
Yeah. They just ended on the peak. That's gonna be it. The MJ biopic's gonna end with him doing like the soundtrack to Free Willy, and that's gonna be that's the one. That's the place to go out. Speaking of people in turmoil, really quick, this is a weird story to get to, but Alec Baldwin Rust stuff is happening again, and we need to talk about it. I don't really understand why this has come up again, but Alec Baldwin, star of Rust, among other things, of course, is going to be charged in Helena Hutchins' on-set death on the set of Rust. What was it? Earlier last year, Baldwin was on set.
A year ago, or over a year ago now.
I know. It's weird. I'm still in weird pandemic time. I'm still getting myself together. But if you didn't hear the story, on the set of Rust, a Western that Alec Baldwin is producing, a tragedy occurred. A firearm was an on-screen firearm that should not have had any kind of loaded bullet in it was fired. Cinematographer was killed, Helena Hutchins. It's very tragic. Alec Baldwin was holding the prop gun, but it is a prop gun, right? You'd think it'd be fine. It's a tragic thing all around. The armor has been charged, but now Baldwin's getting pulled into it too, which is weird because I thought we'd kind of moved past this. Well, what's going on here, Andy?
So while he did settle with Helena Hutchinson's family out of court, of course, they brought a huge suit, which was settled. The district attorney and the powers that be in New Mexico, in the Santa Fe County, were still investigating this, and they've decided to formally charge both Alec Baldwin and the armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter, which is kind of the weakest of kind of those manslaughter charges you could get. Third person of interest, Assistant Director David Halls, signed a plea agreement for the charge of a negligent use of a deadly weapon, and he's going to get a suspended sentence and 6 months probation. I'm surprised that the other two, maybe they didn't get plea agreements, or maybe they didn't agree to those terms, but they're going to be going to court, and it's unlikely they'll serve any real time if found guilty, but there is a chance. But it's definitely about finding, holding people responsible for this death.
So I've heard some rumors that this is about a new district attorney in New Mexico, right? Somebody wants to make the name of themselves, wants a big case up front, crack down on film sets and how things are used, and they want to make an example, which is why Baldwin's getting pulled into this. But I think it's more direct than that, because I've been seeing like TikToks from lawyers and other people being like, no, there's actually something to this. This is actually kind of interesting. Why is he still getting pulled into this? Like, to me, right, being somebody who read the story and talked about it here on Off Script, I thought he was just holding the gun, thing went off, tragedy, but like not really his fault, right? Like, he's an actor doing his job. Like, that would be the armorer's job to make sure it's clear. I know he's a producer though, and people have said he's related that way. I don't know. Like, how's he catching a charge here?
I think the big thing is that he's a producer on this movie, and there were multiple complaints about the lack of safety on set, and which now resulted in the death of a person, and injury of another. And that's the main thing. If he was just an actor and had nothing to do with the production, and also if it had been above the board production and not had these safety complaints, he may not be getting charged, because that would be 100% an accident. But because he's one of the financial backers, one of the producers, he's kind of being pulled in. So it's a very kind of complicated setup where he's being charged both kind of as the actor holding the gun, but also the producer financing and responsible for the movie.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, we talked about this earlier this week offline, but like, I can't imagine like how tough it must be to be in Alec Baldwin's position. Like, imagine being the actor who ends up holding the weapon when that happens. Like, he claims he didn't pull the trigger. I mean, like, I don't know, whatever. Like, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Who knows? What the point is, I would imagine my man is likely distraught. Clearly, did not mean for this to happen. So I'm curious to see what these other safety things are. I don't mean to, like, pull out a soapbox for Alec Baldwin or anything, but like, I can't imagine like the emotional toll that's got to take on you, and then this much longer to be still like not only attached to it, but being like branded as the face of it. Nobody else in this production is making headlines. Baldwin is. Like, it is his name and his career that is getting like inextricably tied to this. So if things were truly unsafe on that set, I hope justice is served, man. Like, this sucks, and like I hope there's answers. I hope the people affected like find that. So with that, we should move on to Tron 3. Good Lord. Disney is making Tron 3. Going to be titled Tron Ares, with star Jared Leto.
Morbius.
Dr. Michael Morbius himself.
It's Morbin time.
Boy, oh boy. Yes. What do we know about Tron 3, Andy?
So Tron 3 has been kind of in development hell for over a decade. Tron Legacy came out in 2010, 2011. Around there, starred Garrett Hedlund, Olivia Wilde, Jeff Bridges was back for that, with some really bad de-aging. And they've been talking about a sequel forever, and one kind of materialized, and then they scrapped it, and now they're going to be moving forward with this property with Jared Leto of all people. I'm not sure. I saw this article that it was like, we need to stop acting like Jared Leto is a movie star. But they're doing it. They're going forward.
Academy Award winner Jared Leto, but yeah.
This is a hot property. It made $400 million back in 2010. Tron Legacy did, and that was directed by none other than Joseph Kosinski, director of Top Gun Maverick. So they're moving forward with it, not with any of those people.
Yes. Being that I'm a bit of a family man, I find I have a vested interest in what Disney is doing. So let me explain to you there's a Tron 3 thing, right? It's not because Tron 2 crushed it. And it didn't. There are market problems with Tron 2. Listen, I like Tron Legacy a lot, but it's got issues. It's not because of its killer soundtrack from Daft Punk that has won numerous awards. That was a huge deal. It's not because director Joseph Kosinski just put out Top Gun Maverick. No, it's because Disney made a Tron ride in overseas.
Is the same
I
reason
think,
the Avatar is because they made
yeah,
Avatar
a
World.
little bit. Yeah. So Disney made, here's the deal. A few years ago, Disney needed a hot new ride. I think for Disney Shanghai, I think that's where it is, or Disney China. I'm not sure. One of the parks over there. And they wanted something that was like fit the culture, right? Baked in neon, super hyper modern. They wanted LEDs, and they thought, you know what? It's got to be Tron. It's got to be, right? So they made a roller coaster called Tron Light Cycle Run. And that thing has been doing so well over there that when they needed a new ride for Disney World in Florida, they just copied and pasted it. Literally, like, we're just making the same ride and putting it in Florida. And that's going up in Magic Kingdom in like 3 weeks or something. You may already start seeing ads for it, like you've been seeing ads for the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Epcot. You'll see before you go to the movies, whatever. So now Disney has inadvertently like revived a little bit of Tron love, and what better way to promote their cool new ride and tell people to go to the parks and buy Disney merch than to make a Tron movie, right? And Tron's pretty hot. It's not like a super successful property, but they made a show. They stuck some of it in Kingdom Hearts. They made a couple of movies. People like Tron fine. But the bummer about Tron 3 is it seems like it is going to be sorely lacking in the talent that made Tron 2 at least worth watching. Like, even if it's not a perfect movie. It's a lot worse than Tron 2. Like Daft Punk and Joseph Kosinski and Jeff Bridges is really good. And even Garrett Hedlund's kind of fun. And the art design's fantastic. And that soundtrack is killer. And I just don't know if Tron 3 is going to have any of those things, Andy.
Yeah, it's a big question, but it is, I think, a powerful property. And if you it's ripe for doing visual effects and doing some really exciting kind of visual sequences. And I think if you nail that part, you just make it look super cool, people will be on board.
There is a space where Jared Leto can work in sci-fi. All right, it's worth mentioning. He's actually pretty good in Blade Runner. All right, he's in Blade Runner 2049. He's pretty good. They gave him very few lines, but he's very menacing. I don't think he really works in Morbius, but he's got a role there. My man's got chops, and yes, he is an Academy Award winner. So it's not him I'm so much worried about, though I am worried about him. I'm also worried about the director, Joaquin Roning, who has done. Did we talk about him already? I got really caught into the
no, we didn't.
Ride stuff. Okay, good. The director of Tron 3, Joaquin Roning, formerly was half of the director behind Pirates 5. He's co-director on Pirates 5, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and he was the director for Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, for Disney. So that's why he's here. He's an unstable director, and it's a bummer they couldn't grab somebody with like, God, what's his name? The guy that made Chef, and Lion King and
Jon
Jungle
Favreau.
Book. Jon Favreau, of course. Like he's an unstable Disney director. He'll do anything they want. Like, it's a shame they couldn't have tapped him for this. But hey, you know what? Maybe Joaquin can pull it out. Maybe. I'm not saying
IP, baby. That's what it's all about.
It really is. Yeah, keep it here for more on Tron Ares. One more story before we get to the Oscars, because they're coming, I promise. We got to talk about Avatar. Avatar 2 has crushed expectations. Far and away blown past. It's true. Far and away blown past the expectations Andy and I had for it. And I'm here to say on this show today that I previously predicted Avatar 2 will not make $2 billion, and it has passed $2 billion globally. It is now the 5th highest grossing film of all time. Another thing I said it wouldn't do. It's comfortably slid into this space. Here we are. Avatar 2 is the 5th biggest movie of all time. I think it's probably on track to beat Infinity War, right? Like,
yeah, it's gonna end up
next.
being like second or third. And it's only been out for a month. It could go hit 2.5 billion, maybe the coveted 3 billies.
It's so bananas. This movie has made so much money overseas. Out of the 2 billion it's earned, only 600 million of it comes from the US. Like less than half, comfortably less than half, nearly a quarter is the US. All the rest of it is overseas, including a hefty $230 million out of China. Like it's crazy how much money this movie's making. And Andy and I were just talking before we started about RRR, a movie made from a completely different part of the world, but is also a big, grand 3-hour epic. And I do people just have more of an appetite for that? Like in places that
Maybe.
aren't the US, maybe they're not as tied to their phones and like eternally online as the rest of us. They don't have the brain rot that keeps us from paying attention that long. Like what is it? Like, because good God, this movie is performing well over there.
I don't know what it is, but James Cameron really understands international audiences. He understands casual audiences. He understands the person who has not been to the movies in years. This is the one movie they're going to come out for, and which is an incredible thing to do, to get people into the theater that don't regularly go and that haven't gone, largely because of things like the pandemic that just haven't gone. So to make a movie that appeals to people who that's not what they do, it's really impressive.
Yeah. Hey, congrats. Congrats to Cameron. My man holds 3 of the top 5 2 billion or highest grossing films of all time spots. The list is as follows: Avatar, number 1, Titanic at number 2, Avengers Endgame at number 3, Avengers Infinity War at number 4, and at least for now, Avatar 2 at number 5. I think number 6 is what? Spider-Man
Yep.
Homecoming? Yeah, which is
No Way Home.
also been. Is it No Way Home?
Yep.
I can't. Whatever.
It's poor
The
naming.
point is, it is. Homecoming should be the last one, especially because
Homecoming's
that's
the
when, like,
first
all
one.
the Spider-Men get
Far
together.
From Home is the second. No Way Home is the third.
Never gonna remember that. Like that doesn't. That's stupid. Whatever. Anyway, the point is, Avatar 2 is crushing it. I guess it's on track, right, to beat Avengers, probably.
We'll see.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
next week we'll be talking about that.
There's nothing. The thing is, it also benefits from zero competition. There's no
Yes.
big films. The next big film coming out is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, and it's not till mid-February. So
Yes.
it's
has
got
been
nothing but runway.
Yes, and it's the only big CGI spectacle really out as well. And it's been tapping audiences all over, right? It's been in theaters so long by itself now, especially through the holiday when family are getting around talking, looking for things to watch. Like, well, you know it, everybody's going to see Avatar 2. You're tapping the audience of people who don't normally go to the movies often. Even they are getting interested. So, like, Avatar 2, baby. I do think, where does this position Avatar 3? Better, worse? I think it's going to be worse. Like, it's not going to make as much. We'll probably still cross $2 billion, but like, I do think, like every movie series, there'll be a trend down.
I think it's going to be fine. I think what will happen though is one of these will not succeed. Maybe it's Avatar 4, maybe it's Avatar 5. I think one eventually he's going to run into something that's just like not going to connect with audiences.
Right.
Maybe they'll just get tired of it.
When will James
7.
Cameron? Yes. When will James Cameron come back from Pandora? Who knows? With that, we should move into.
He's going to die on Pandora.
Holding wearing a VFX headset plugged into his hub. Skin and bones. With that, we need to move into the 2023 Oscars. Or at least the Oscar nominations. That's worth saying. The noms are out. This is a big deal, all right, for people in the film community like Andy and myself. Overall, Andy, what do you think? Where do we start talking about this? Are you pleased with what you've seen? Are there snubs all over? What do you think?
Well, but before we get into that, I want to talk about. I got up early because these are announced at like 5:30 a.m. Pacific time. So I got up at like 7 to make sure I was ready. Got the live stream going. Was waiting with bated breath, and it was Riz Ahmed and Allison Williams came out to do the announcements, which were streamed. And a lot of surprises, some snubs. Some people I was glad were snubbed. I think overall better choices than usual. A lot of times, I mean, people need to remember the Oscars are incredibly political. There's heavy campaigns. There's narratives. It's not a meritocracy by any means, but occasionally they do kind of get it kind of right.
Yeah, I think overall I've been pleased with what's here. Like I said at the top, our Andy and I, both of our favorite films of last year were Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it's really cool to see that get so many noms, especially because it's such a small feature. That's practically an indie. Nobody was talking about Daniels 3 years ago. Like this was not anything anybody was talking about, and now suddenly like 11 noms, which is tremendous, right? Michelle Yeoh up for Best Actress, Kei Kwan up for Best Supporting Actor. Huge role. Actually, he's a best supporting, right? Yeah. Was he up for best lead? You know what? We should probably just get into it.
Yeah,
Right?
let's just get into it.
That's probably the best place to just jump in. How do you want to do this? I think for Globes, what we do 3 and 3, like we just went down the list that way.
We can alternate because we'll probably get into these a lot. I'll start with Best Picture. I'm going to list them all off, and then we'll get into it. All Quiet on the Western Front, which we reviewed on the show. Avatar: The Way of Water. No surprise there. The Banshees of Inisherin. Elvis. Everything Everywhere All at Once. The Fabelmans. Tar. Top Gun Maverick. Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Pretty good list. I would say nothing. A couple of surprises. Number one, they can nominate as many as 10, but they don't have to do 10. So sometimes years there's been 8 or 9. This category was expanded to kind of recognize more films than they used to. It used to just be a strict 5. But a few surprises. I think I'm surprised to see Triangle of Sadness on here. Women Talking, which is a very small film that hasn't had a lot of press, but I've heard is very good. Also good to see a lot of the others we expected.
No Babylon, biggest snub of the year. How could they? No, I actually like Babylon a bit, and Andy did too, but not surprised to see it not here. I don't think. I am surprised to see a full list. I can't remember the last time we had 10, like actually 10. Usually, yeah, it's like 8, 9. I think a few years ago we had 10, but I couldn't tell you when exactly. Film's back. Film's back in a big way, baby. We did the pandemic. We're on the other side of it. We got some great features here. Andy, what's taking it home? What do you think? You got a pick?
Ooh, geez, I haven't thought that far. I mean, I hope it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. I fear it could be The Fabelmans, just because Spielberg's everyone's darling, and a lot of times people just vote for the name, and Spielberg's an institution in Hollywood, and Daniels are relatively new. Sometimes you have to, they've made a great movie. Sometimes you have to make 4 or 5 before you get recognized by the Academy. So I'm hoping it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think it'll probably go to a more traditional pick.
Yeah, I think it'll be that, or maybe something a little bit smaller like Banshees. Listen, Everything Everywhere has 11 noms. I can't tell you how many times I've seen the Oscars nominate one movie a bunch and then give it like one thing. So it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, right. Mank. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It could win nothing with 11 noms. Like, it's ridiculous, but it is exciting. If you like the movie, check it out for the Oscars. Best Director nominees include Martin McDonagh for the Banshees of Inisherin, the Daniels, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans, Todd Field for Tar, and Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness. We didn't see Triangle of Sadness on the show. I want to. We probably should.
We have to now.
Yeah, before it comes around. But like Triangle of Sadness came at a weird time in the year. We've already kind of seen a few features punching up at like class. We literally saw the trailer for Triangle of Sadness while watching Bodies. So like, and that was already a swing up. We've had a couple other features since. There's one that's escaping me now, but of what I see here, I look, I really like Daniels. Do they give Best Director to co-directors? Is that a thing? Or are people going to be like, that's garbage? There's 2 of them, right? It's like cheating off your buddy on a test. I don't know if that actually happens.
I mean, they could, but again, Best Director is a category that goes to someone who's worked for years, has made several. So I think it's an honor to be nominated, but I don't think they're really. I'm surprised that Ruben Östlund is in this. There was talk that some other films, particularly there's no women on this list, which is not a great thing. I can't remember her name. Who directed Till was a black woman. Same thing with the Woman King. and also Sarah Polley, who directed Women Talking. So kind of a lack of, and just surprised for Ruben Ostlund, because while I've heard a lot of Triangle of Sadness, it also hasn't really had a ton of buzz. So a little bit surprised by that. I think it'll probably go to either Spielberg or Martin McDonagh.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. It's probably I think childishly I don't want it to go Spielberg. My man has had plenty of time in the sun. I love that he made his feature. We still need to watch it, but like, man, I really liked everything. Anyway, who's got lead actor?
Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for After Sun, and Bill Nighy for Living. Standard. Most of these are what we expected: Austin Butler and Colin Farrell and Brendan Fraser. Not surprised at all. Bill Nighy has had a big campaign. Nice to see him on the list. The big surprise is Paul Mescal for After Sun, which we haven't seen. I've heard it's great. I've also heard that it's kind of a smaller role. So really kind of surprised that he was on there.
Yeah, I like, if you would think Austin Butler would be a breakout, or maybe Brendan Fraser would be exciting because this is his first one. Paul Mescal is coming so far out of left field with a very small feature with a, I think, first time director, and he is like, this is like his second or third big role ever, and he's nominated for best lead actor comfortably among some titans here. Like, Colin Farrell put out an incredible performance in Banshees. I keep hearing Bill Nighy is incredible in Living. Like, I feel like that movie's going to be a real tearjerker. But if anybody's taking it, I honestly hope it's Brendan Fraser. Come on, how do you not root for the man?
I've heard that it's going to be basically between Colin Farrell and Brendan Fraser. I will point out these are all white guys. And that's been another thing about a lack of diversity in a lot of the lead categories, which we can talk about more another time. But that's just an observation. Zach, tell us about best lead actress.
Best lead actress, 5 folks up here: Cate Blanchett for Tar, Ana de Armas for Blonde, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Keen listeners of Offscript might have heard earlier when Andy said Ruben Ostlund was a weird pick for best director, a dark horse, an odd one. And let me tell you, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie is really odd on here because I've never heard of this movie.
Right.
We've never talked about on this show before. What is this?
Yeah. So there's a couple of standouts. First, I was really surprised to see Ana de Armas on here for Blonde. Not because it's not a great performance. She does give this killer performance, but that movie is so brutal and was so poorly received by everyone. Everyone hated it. People got up and left. Everyone thinks it's
Andy and I both kind of liked it. That's what we're saying.
I liked aspects of it. Don't get me.
It wasn't bad. Come on. And she's great. She is one of those aspects. It's really good.
The movie's a little problematic depending on who you ask. But I was surprised to see her on here. Great first nomination for her. Yes, this thing with Andrea Riseborough is really sketchy. So I heard about this just last week, that she had this big push and a lot of help from some major celebrities to propel her in the like. I've not heard about this movie until last week. It's called To Leslie, and all of a sudden she popped up on the week that Oscar voting starts, and now she got a nomination, and like Cate Blanchett shouted her out and other stars, and it looks some real, it looks sketchy, like some bribery kind of stuff going on, because this just is out of nowhere. No one has heard of this movie, much less seen it, and it seems like a whole lot of elbow rubbing.
It's weird. Yeah.
Also, Michelle Williams in for The Fabelmans is kind of like, okay.
This movie came out in October of last year, and like neither of us have heard about it. I've never seen this poster. I couldn't tell you what's happening in this trailer. She must be real good. She must be really good in that movie, like to get on this list. Like, if listen, I don't know. Again, if I got a favorite, yeah.
So part of this, again, people thought that Danielle Deadwyler, who plays Emmett Till's mother in the Till movie, everyone thought she was kind of a lock for one of these nominations, and she didn't. And it's a bunch of white ladies in the category again.
Well, hey, Michelle Yeoh's down there. That's not
true.
so bad.
No,
that's really big deal. Yeah, and I if anybody I hope takes it, it's her. Although Look, Anna de Armas is really good in Blonde. Dude, Kate Blanchett is unreal in Tar. She's
Yeah.
so good. Like,
This
oh
is
my God.
this is close. It's going to be between Kate Blanchett and Michelle Yeoh for sure.
Yes.
And the thing is, they're both legacies. Kate Blanchett has been nominated 8 times, and she's won
Dude.
twice.
Yes.
Michelle Yeoh never nominated, never won. So it might be her. We'll see the way the Academy wants to go. Those are both great performances. I could do without kind of the middle 3 on this list.
Who do you have on supporting?
Brendan Gleeson for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, Judd Hirsch for The Fabelmans, Barry Keoghan for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ki Hoi Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was probably the one lock that we knew that Ki Hoi Kwan had a big push. He was going to get it. Brendan Gleeson. A little surprising that Barry Keoghan is also on there, because that kind of splits when you have 2 actors for the same movie. It kind of splits the voting, and that can kind of tilt who wins. We haven't seen The Fabelmans yet. Surprise from Brian Tyree Henry. We haven't seen Causeway. It's on Apple TV Plus now. I think he plays like a war veteran.
Yeah, Causeway's that Jennifer Lawrence movie on Apple TV. Yeah, I had not even thought of this movie, but I saw it on there. I was like, oh, he must be really good. I mean, favorite for me, it's Ke Huy Quan by a mile. And look, like Barry's great. Listen, Brendan's great. Like, love Banshees. Like, love those movies. Love that movie. But like, dude, nobody moved me like he did. Like, nobody. And my man has been out of the game for years. Like, and he swoops back in and puts out a stellar Academy Award.
He's got an incredible narrative.
Yes, incredible range. Like playing multiple versions of the same character and like shifting on screen, usually like within a moment.
Like, I want to watch
from one to another. Like
I want to watch that movie again. Right.
Yeah. He's tremendous.
Best supporting actress.
You mentioned like having two people from the same film, like kind of tilting the category. And best supporting shares this. Angela Bassett for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow for The Whale, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, and then Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere, and Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere. Listen, all fantastic. Angela Bassett, I think, is a front runner because she's really good, and she's really good in Wakanda Forever. It's actually coming to Disney Plus here in a couple of weeks, I think, early February. So if you haven't seen it, you'll be able to watch it at home. She is tremendous. And I'd love for Stephanie Sue to take it for Everything Everywhere. She's also amazing, and like there's a reason she's on this list. I think the one that people kind of look at sideways a little is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
She's really good. She's really good in Everything Everywhere. Very heartfelt and very sincere. And you can tell how different of a performance is because she also starred in Halloween 3 this year, like, which was not that good. Halloween Ends. But like compared to Stephanie Sue, like they're just different. They're different breadth of performance, and like one is clearly better than the other. So it's weird seeing Jamie on here, but it's great that she's nominated. What do you think?
So this is one of the categories where I was thinking that sometimes the Oscars really get it right. Incredibly diverse group of people. Angela Bassett, the first nomination for a Marvel film in the acting category. Very surprised to see Hong Chow on here in a good way. She was incredible in The Whale.
But she's super good.
But she didn't have like much of a campaign. Her name wasn't really taught. I don't think she really won any other things for her role. Carrie Condon, who I thought was a standout in Banshees that no one's really talked about because everyone's talking about Colin Farrell. Great seeing her on here as well. Stephanie Sue, who a lot of people thought was just not getting a lot of buzz. She wasn't nominated for the Golden Globe for this. Seeing her on here, and of course, the great Jamie Lee Curtis. Again, I hope that doesn't split votes in that category.
I think like just to get to this point before we jump into screenplay, like I think it's interesting that Banshees and Everything Everywhere both are emerging as like nailing nearly every one of these categories. Like somebody is involved. Like both of them are Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. Like tons of people involved in these, and otherwise like very small features. Like not huge and giant. You don't see Tom Cruise for Top Gun Maverick. Like you're not seeing Zoe Saldana for Avatar 2. James Cameron didn't even get a Best Director nod.
I was gonna say we forgot to mention that James Cameron not nominated for Best Director, despite his $2 billion.
Yeah, so weird year at the movies, but again, an appreciation of all things fine independent cinema. Let's talk screenplays. Am I up for this one? No, you're
I'm
up.
for best adapted screenplay. All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery by Ryan Johnson, Living, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking, written by Sarah Polley. So I didn't know this. If a movie is a sequel, it's not considered an original work; it's considered adapted, which is why,
Ah,
which
okay.
is kind of a weird rule. But anyways, Glass Onion is, since it's a sequel, it gets under the adapted screenplay category. I think Knives Out was also nominated for original screenplay. So Ryan Johnson's got these back-for-back nominations. Same, nice to see Top Gun Maverick on there as well. Sarah Polley, I saw a thing where she was like totally not prepared to have been nominated, and she was like she didn't have her hair and makeup done and stuff, like trying to do interviews.
Perfect. Yeah.
Anyways, what do you think of
Uh,
this?
I haven't seen Women Talking, and I think that's the one that really intrigues me here. So I mean, simply for such a simple idea, right? A movie called Women Talking does not fundamentally sound that interesting. So when it's catching an Oscar nom for brilliant screenplay, like that says something. There must be something really special going on in there. I get why All Quiet's adapted. It's a really tremendous feature that's already been mentioned here a couple times. But if I gotta pick one, I probably Glass Onion feels really good. I don't know. Like I honestly, the adapted screenplay here category is fine this year. It's fine. It's original. I'm excited to talk about. Good God, I
Yeah,
don't know, dude.
mine. I think I would go with All Quiet on the Western Front for
That's a
adapted
good pick.
screenplay.
Listen, rock solid. Like it really is an honor just to be nominated. I know I keep saying that, but like, I mean, all fine. But best original screenplay this year is something else. Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Now, I don't have a lot of faith in Triangle. I haven't seen it. And Banshees is real good and everything is real good, but dude, Tar is like razor sharp. It like that is written by somebody who so deeply knows and understands that industry that they're able to turn out something like genuinely like meaningful to people who are in it. You were sitting on the couch with me and you were like, dude, we got to talk about these music references. Holy God. I
Yeah,
mean, that didn't come out of nowhere.
yeah. All of these. Again, we haven't seen Triangle of Sadness, but any of these could win. Like I wouldn't be surprised in one direction or another. It kind of depends on how the night goes on when the winners are announced, because that's the kind of thing. If everything's going to one film, it kind of it might sweep several, but all fabulous. We still need to watch The Fablemans and Triangle of Sadness, but great category that could go to anyone.
I know. I think my favorite's still Everything Everywhere. Like, how do you make a movie called Everything Everywhere, cover everything?
Yeah,
Generational
same.
trauma, ADHD. I mean, good God. Like, there's a lot going on. Who's got cinematography?
I'll go ahead and take that on. All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo or False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, Empire of Light with our boy Roger Deakins, and Tar. Let's see. So some of these we haven't seen Bardo. Everything else we've seen. That's the only one we haven't. Nice to see Empire of Light on there. That's the one thing I really did enjoy about that movie. Elvis, incredible. Some people thought that Top Gun Maverick would or should be on this. That might be a snub. I think it's a pretty good list.
You know what I'm surprised isn't here? Honestly, I like a joke aside from the open, Babylon. Babylon had great cinematography, man. Some of that camera work was stellar. Spielberg level blocking, in my opinion, like really. But it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, I think there's any I like in here. Look, I liked Empire of Light a lot, and I love Roger Deakins, but dude, All Quiet was really well shot. And it's so grand. God, it feels like such a big film, like
Mm-hmm.
and hey, I liked Elvis a ton too, but I don't know, might have been over edited for the Academy. I don't know if they can swing Baz Luhrmann quite yet, might still be too much.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of talking about things we've seen, we should skip documentary and documentary short. I haven't seen any of those. I have no right. Am I crazy?
Right.
Do you
No,
want to just do you
I
want to
haven't.
just say them just cause? I don't, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for best documentary feature, All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love. I did see a trailer for that. It's about these two people who die visiting a volcano. A House Made of Splinters and Navalny. Haven't seen any of those. We should definitely watch them, but they'll probably be more available soon. You want to jump down to editing or
Gotta be
international
editing.
feature?
Gotta be editing. Best film editing. Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. Now listen, editing's a subtle thing, all right? It's not always subtle. If you've seen Elvis, you know it's not that subtle. It can be very bombastic and big. But if you've seen something like, Banshees of Inisherin, it can be understated. It can be quiet. It can add suspense to a scene. If you laugh in a comedy, it's because of the editing. If you're scared of a horror, it's because of the editing. If you've seen Skinamarink, it's because of the editing. So it's tough to say like which one of these I think will like take it. Look, I liked Everything Everywhere a lot because it was so intimate. They put together a lot of that stuff in like After Effects on YouTube tutorials, like really simple work, very practical in-camera work, and a lot of that can contribute to editing. But if I got one, I think it's my favorite. It's probably gonna be Elvis or maybe even Top Gun. Top Gun's really, really big. A lot of those shots of them in those damn cockpits flying around. I mean, it's a lot.
Right. I'm kind of in the same boat where Elvis and Everything Everywhere and Top Gun really stand out to me. Just incredible editing. That's the stuff that really affects the pace of the movie, really makes you feel like you're in it, and changes in energy and pacing. And man, it could really go. I mean, I would love to see Everything Everywhere win everything, but
Right.
it could. I mean, this is
Yeah.
one of those that Top Gun, could take possibly. We'll see. Moving on to Best International Feature, All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina 1985, Close from Belgium, EO from Poland, and The Quiet Girl from Ireland. The big surprise here is the lack of our boy Chan Wook Park for Decision to Leave.
Snub.
That was it. This is a huge snub. He definitely belongs on here. Also, Triangle of Sadness is not on here. It could have easily been in the international feature. It's on the best picture list.
That's true.
I've only seen one of these, which is All Quiet on the Western Front, which I'm sure will probably take it. Like I said, Decision to Leave, I think is criminally underrated, and should be back on here.
Yeah, it is a bummer Decision's not on here. I hope that doesn't push it into any kind of low regard for fans of his work. It's really good stuff. All Quiet, I think, is my favorite as well. It's the only one I've seen. Best Original Song. I'm actually excited to talk about this one because of the feature we're talking about shortly after we talk about the Oscars. RRR. Best Original Song nominees are Applause from Tell It Like a Woman, Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. That's that Lady Gaga track. Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That is Rihanna's first track in like 7 years or something. Natu Natu from RRR, and This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere. Listen, it's an honor to be nominated. Dude, nobody beats Natu Natu this year. There's no way. I don't believe it. That song has so much hype when it comes up in that movie, and we're going to talk about it in just a few minutes. But that's got to be it. That Rihanna track is fine and understated at the end of Black Panther. It's very thoughtful. I don't remember the Lady Gaga track from Top Gun Maverick.
It comes up at the credits. It's it's not very useful.
Natu Natu is a full song and dance action sequence. It is not a credits track like these are. Like, no, that is front and central to the film. It's really good stuff. What do you think, Andy?
So good list. A surprise and a snub. Taylor Swift was not nominated for her song. I don't even know what movie it's for, but she was nominated for a Golden Globe, but she's not on this list. And Taylor Swift is trying to kind of elbow her way into Hollywood, and I don't think people are standing for it, because she also had a short film she directed, and she was hoping to get an Oscar nomination, and didn't even make the short list. And her song's not on here either, so that's a bit of a snub. And a nice surprise is that the original song from Everything Everywhere All at Once, called This Is a Life, written by Son Lux, is on here. I love that song. That's one, and that song kind of shapes the entire score of that film. It's probably a little bit too obscure to win, but it's nice to see on there. And yeah, it's definitely going to go to Not To. It would be criminal if it didn't. Imagine that on the Oscar stage, like if they do the performance. My God.
Oh my God, they gotta, dude. Like it's too big not to. It's a celebration of all things cinema. Yeah, if somebody like Paul Mescal can sneak onto best actors, and Taylor Swift is nowhere to be seen, it's not because Taylor Swift isn't capable. It's because she just hasn't done the great thing yet. Put out a film. Put out something big, like show us, don't go on Variety and do an interview and tell us that you're working on something great. Like, we need to see it. Like, that ultimately, that's what's going to win hearts. Like,
I
she
tried
clearly has creativity and talent. Good God. Like, she's a freaking billionaire on her music career. Like, put out a movie. Let's see it. I can't wait to praise Taylor Swift's directing ability.
I tried to watch the director on directors with Martin McDonough and Taylor Swift, and I just about flipped the table because he's talking about, the process of filmmaking, and she's directed like 10 music videos and done this short, and I'm like, we're not even the same league here.
Right. Like, I'm sure I haven't seen them, but like, I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they're great work, but like, you got to put out a feature. It's time. Like, you've done a short, it's time to do something big. So I think she's got something she's working on, right? Doesn't she have a script or something? I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep it here for more on what Taylor Swift's got going on in the film world. What else are we talking about in here? Best visual, I think.
Yeah. I did want to mention real quick, best production design. Babylon is under that category, so it did get in there.
Yeah, it is. Hey, I'll take it. All right.
Best visual effects. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman. Shout out to the Batman. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun: Maverick. Our big spectacle films of the year. Thor: Love and Thunder not on here. Mystical of Madness. What is this? Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange movie not on here. But really nice to see the Batman on here. I was happy for that.
It's funny. I was actually rewatching the Batman just earlier today. It's really good stuff on HBO Max if you haven't seen it. I think the clear frontrunner's got to be Avatar. I imagine being the camera guy who's got to get shots of like the celebrities in the audience, like when they're announcing stuff, and just lock in on James Cameron. Because if he doesn't get it, the look on his face will be humble, like when his ex-wife won Best Director out from under him for The Hurt Locker. But he's gonna be like,
I can see it happening. I can see it happening. Like it's yes, incredible effects are in Avatar, but they got to help tell the story. And I think if you combine effects with a better story, basically all these other films deserve it over that.
Yeah, man. Like, listen, I know Top Gun doesn't have like the CGI trappings of Pandora, but like they were tracking the Earth's rotation so they could fly up in jets at the right time so the sun was perfect to catch the hairline on Tom Cruise. Like, it's insane how much work they went to put that together.
Much more.
So like,
to me, that's much more impressive.
Tangibly real. Yeah, they were flying F-14 jets. They had a budget for jet fuel. Like, I'm glad Avatar was shooting in water tanks. That's huge. And personally, if one should win, it probably should be Avatar. But like, just if it doesn't win, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to collapse to my knees or anything. Best animated feature. We can talk about this. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On from A24, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast on Netflix, and Turning Red from Disney Pixar. Notably, one Disney feature in here, right?
That's right.
Just one. Turning Red, which was the one they pushed to Disney Plus instead of putting in
No Lightyear.
People weren't going to go see it. Yeah, no Lightyear, right? No Strange World here. Of all of them, I haven't seen Marcel and I haven't seen Puss in Boots. I did actually see The Sea Beast, which I think is really sweet. I don't think it's going to take it because it's got some titans to fight in. And I like Turning Red a lot, but listen, I watched a good chunk of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and it's good stuff. I haven't finished it. I shouldn't have stopped watching it really, but it was like 2 a.m. I needed to go to bed. But like, that movie's really
it's an incredible film that's both appropriate for all ages and children and adult, and it's very mature. It takes on some very heavy themes while still being an enjoyable children's film.
Also, notably stop motion, which I'm a huge fan of, and Guillermo del Toro. The Academy loves Guillermo del Toro. Oh my God, he's the best.
Real quick, want to touch on best costume design. Babylon did show up there. Black Panther, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Miss Harris Goes to Paris. Just another one with Babylon did manage to get into. Best original score. All Quiet on the Western Front. Babylon. Justin Hurwitz getting his due. The Banshees of Inisherin, which I cannot remember the score to that at all.
You can't hum the Banshees of Inisherin theme.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've overplayed that soundtrack this year. The Fabelmans, which I haven't heard the score. It's John Williams. I'm sure it's great.
Love John Williams. It's got to be Babylon. But dude, the Babylon soundtrack goes so hard. I think the world of it. I think it's really good.
Yeah. It'll be interesting because a lot of times, like Babylon did not do well financially. It's a bomb. It was divisive. If a movie isn't like loved by audiences or financially successful, a lot of times it doesn't get rewarded. There's all these external factors when it comes to these things.
You can already see like the Blu-ray cover for Babylon with like the banner at the top that's like nominated for 5 Academy Awards. Babylon, right? Like
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Diego Calva on the side. Like it's going to be great. But John Williams, I mean, obviously a favorite for best original score. I mean, it's John Williams, for God's sake. One more category, best original sound. I'm going to move through this one pretty quick, right? You want to take it, Andy, or should I?
Go ahead.
All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, seen it again, Elvis, and Top Gun: Maverick. Listen, is it Elvis? It might have to be Elvis. They did like here's the thing, the reason it might have to be Elvis, because the Elvis soundtrack isn't sang by Elvis or Austin Butler. They blended his voice, and they often would use one or the other, or they would like use a mix of the two of them to make a song work. And like, it makes for a really seamless watch experience. They also got his voice pretty good, pretty dialed in. Reportedly, he can't stop doing it, which is really funny.
Yeah.
There's something about that, I think, and people have been hearing a lot about it. Like, I just think that might take it by a nose. But what do you think, Andy?
I think these ones that are a little bit more down to earth, because Elvis is so musical. It's so musical, and so your ears are going to think more of like the score and the songs.
Yeah.
Those categories. Where when I think of sound, I think of something like All Quiet on the Western Front, which is a lot of war sounds, gunfire, mortars, tanks, all that. Same thing with Top Gun: Maverick. You got the airplane, the jets, all that good stuff. So I think it'll kind of lean that way. It kind of just depends on how the voters feel about this category.
Yeah, and notably, Avatar: The Way of Water is no slouch. The best sound design is the stuff you don't notice. It is not easy to put people in movie theaters onto an alien planet like Pandora, and a big part of that is the sound design. James Cameron dialed it in so good you can understand Na'vi, right? It just sounds like English in Avatar 2. So like, it's worth saying the sound is pretty good. We had talked about this way too long.
That's why we did it first. That's why we did it first.
I suppose it is. Yeah, it is. Before we move on to it, snubs, best movies that didn't make the list. Any hot takes before we jump into RRR?
We mentioned some of them. Was really hoping to see Nope on here. Didn't get any kind of nominations.
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't catch one.
The Woman King had a lot of buzz. It didn't really get anywhere.
I still feel bad we didn't go see that in the theater.
Hustle, the Adam Sandler basketball movie, had a little bit of Oscar campaigning. Didn't really get anywhere. I saw X and Pearl show up on a list, but I was like, there was no way that the Academy was ever going to get behind the great Mia Goth.
It's a shame. Oh, dude, she's so good in Pearl. Yeah, it's really. Yeah, no. What is this movie we're just looking at? Till's not on here at all. Which we also didn't see, but I knew it had some love. I figured that was probably going to get something.
Yeah, that's I think probably the biggest snub is everyone was expecting the director to get best director, and definitely Danielle Deadwyler best actress.
Yeah, and I know no Tom Cruise nom for Top Gun.
It's a possibility, but it's better for all the other stuff it's gotten. RRR not being on there is actually one of the snubs according to a lot of people.
For sure. Yeah, I'm already looking forward to like the goofy videos after the Oscars, when like somebody feels that somebody got snubbed, and they'll be like, how the hell could, I don't know, Bill Nye win for how could Colin Farrell win best actor for Banshees, a movie nobody saw, when Top Gun came out and made $1 bajillion. Tom Cruise, the best actor of our generation. Like, yeah, I can already hear the bells calling. Otherwise, it kind of reflects the Golden Globes, but a pretty good year at the movies, right? Like, I'm pretty pleased with the noms all around. I totally forgot about Nope, though. That is a bummer. You're right. It's not on here once. Criminal. Not once. Nothing for Nope. Stupid. Anyway, we should move on to it. Any other thoughts on this, Andy?
I think we've talked quite enough.
Yeah, God, beat this horse dead. Keep it here on Off Script for more about the Oscars. We're going to be covering it, of course, like we do every year. And if you want to keep up with us, easiest way to do that is just subscribe to the show to get more Oscar stuff soon. But we spent far too long on this. Now we need to talk about the real thing. All right, the meat of the program. We need to talk about, of course, RRR. So RRR is a historical epic coming out of foreign cinemas. It is a surprise it was not nominated for Best International Feature. It wasn't, right? Did I miss that?
No.
It is from director S.S. Rajamouli, and it is the coming together of a ton of really incredible talent from a part of the world you probably have not seen a lot of movies in. A lot of people have said RRR is a Bollywood feature. It actually isn't. I tried to do a little bit of research before this review to figure out what exactly it is, and it's one of like one of like 5 sectors of Indian film, as I understand it. Specifically, this is from Telugu. That's the language it was originally shot in, and it features 2 of the biggest stars in film history from that side of the world, and this huge director from that corner of the globe who are coming together to make RRR. Stands for Rise Roar Revolt in English. Stands for a handful of things in other languages, but it fundamentally is a fictitious story about 2 legendary rebels, 2 warriors, right? Who managed to ignite a revolution against 1920s British imperialism. When a young girl is kidnapped from her tribe, she is she is set upon to be rescued by the tribe's local. He's kind
Protector.
of protector. Yeah, I don't mean to say he's like Black Panther, but I'll get into it. Fundamentally, think of him kind of like Black Panther. But meanwhile, the British Imperialists have an officer moving quickly through their ranks to become special officer, who is this incredible, fierce warrior. And the 2 of them meet, and they are destined to fight or become friends or be something big. This movement of the universe when the 2 of them come together. And after a bit of back and forth, ultimately they unite to inspire others and blow up a whole bunch of bad guys. The movie is RRR. It's currently available on Netflix in a variety of languages. Andy, what'd you think?
This movie's kind of insane. I'd heard lots of things about it, that it was just this big epic, this big ride, and it's crazy. It's got it all. It's inspired by things like, martial arts, wushu films, as well as it's got a couple of Bollywood numbers. It's a big epic tale. There's friendship, there's a love story, there's everything in the kitchen sink is in this movie. It gets a little slow in parts, but overall I really liked it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think RR is really good. It's definitely different, right? It's definitely different. And I think it might be a challenge to recommend, one, because it's not quite like American film. There are some notable differences. And 2, it's really long. It is over 3 hours, which, like we talked about earlier, I think is a trend in that on that side of the world. Like big, long epics, right? Like something really grand, big CGI, big musical numbers, dancing, singing, drama, action, romance. And he's right. RR has it all. And it's meant to be based on 2 actual people. Both of these revolutionaries were real, but they never met ever in history. And S.S. Rajamouli, when he was looking to make a new feature, thought, well, what if he kind of came across them in the history texts or whatever, what he's researching. He thought, well, what if these 2 did meet? What would that look like? What if these 2 guys, one who is like in the film, at least, the amalgamation of like fire, passion, right? Met this other guy who is a leader from the woods, like from local tribes, like somebody
Water.
who's yes, water, right? Who's fluid, and what if the 2 of them met? What would happen? What would that do? Like, and that's the inspiration behind RRR. Our 2 leads are played brilliantly by 2 actors whose names I'm going to butcher, but they're worth mentioning. N.T. Rama Rao Jr. and Ram Charan Teja. They are fantastic as Beam and Rama or Raju. The 2 of them are really something else. The film, once it kind of gets going, it's a little slow to start. It opens with our young girl who is kidnapped from this colony from by British imperialists who are total jerks. They talk about the value of a bullet and why they shouldn't waste them on the locals, which is incredibly insulting. But after she's kidnapped, we're introduced quickly to Raju, who is a British soldier who has this really, really fantastic opening sequence where he wades through a crowd of hundreds of rebels, hundreds of men to arrest this one guy at the behest of the British leadership, which is crazy. Shows his power to everybody. This guy is not to be messed with. Doesn't even say a word. He's like Neo in the Matrix. Then we very quickly meet Beam, who is our kind of Black Panther-esque hero from the jungle. He is a animal lover. He's trying to chase and capture a tiger, which turns into him getting chased. Has this very fantastic scene where he captures the thing with these ropes and these hooks. It's amazing, and it's CGI you can see through, but like that's not what it's about, because RRR never, I don't think ever, winks at you sitting in your seat. It goes so hard where it needs to. Like, it really leans all the way into what you're seeing. But even if, you know, you're not necessarily fooled, like, you still are in the spirit of what's happening. From there, the two men meet, and then we get an incredible series of songs and action and drama and a little bit of rom-com. There's all kinds of things going on in this movie. And over the course of 3 hours, it feels like you're almost watching a series, which is crazy and also fits for the time, because it's a lot, and it's long.
Right. Part of what goes on is, you know, you have Raju, he's an Imperial officer looking to work his way up the ranks. And then Beam is the protector who goes to the city. I think it's in New Delhi, who goes to the city to rescue the girl. And they both kind of know about each other, and they, of course, like any kind of sitcom like that this has, they become best of friends not knowing who the other person is. You know, and there's a great friendship song, friendship montage that goes on and on. It's really kind of hokey, but that's part of the charm of the movie. But of course, both of these people, these two men, have a kind of opposing ideals, and you know they're destined to discover each other's identity, discover what they're really doing in the city. But that takes a backseat to, you know, a love story that comes along, the trying to free this girl, along with like backstories of each character and taking on British imperialism. So much going on.
One of the things I think is really cool about this movie is how practical a lot of it feels. I did mention the CGI tiger, and there's definitely some CGI enhancement happening in this movie, but there's also a lot of, like, you know, kung fu wires, right? And characters doing like these crazy, like, unrealistic leaps through the air. Our heroes, when Raju fires a bow and arrow, he never misses once ever. Like, it's always perfect. The music is always huge and grand, and the lyrics, like Andy said, are literally telling you, like, these two are the best of friends ever. Look how great of friends they are. What's going to happen when they find out what's going on with the other one? We'll just have to wait and see. Like, it's so on the nose, like, because it never wants you to get out of this idea that what you are seeing is like the biggest, grandest amalgamation possible. And like, it's funny because on the one hand, it can feel a little hokey, I think, because it's different. But on the other hand, I kept thinking of, when I was watching this, movies that are supposed to be big and grand, like Black Adam, right? Movies that are supposed to be like the biggest thing ever, that just seem so small in comparison to what's happening here, because there's just so much passion and energy channeled into nearly every scene, at least in the action. I will say it does sag a bit in the drama for me. The rom-com stuff slowed it down significantly. But it's gotta, like any movie, you gotta have pacing. You gotta have ups and downs.
Yeah. You have two really huge opening scenes, and like I said, once they both are in the city and they become friends, eventually there's this meet cute and this like I said, rom-com air thing that goes on for a pretty long time, which ends up leading to this big musical number, which the song Not To has now been nominated for. Fantastic sequence. It's the only like big Bollywood dance sequence in the whole film, and it's like I mean, like, these guys can do everything. Like, they already do all the stunts and the acting, and then they can also do these incredible dance numbers. And Zach and I were watching and thinking, you know, Chris Evans could never, Ryan Gosling could never,
No.
like Emma Stone, like, and these actors have tried to do these things, but it's like these guys are on a whole nother level. They've clearly been doing the dance part of this their whole lives.
Yeah, like the talent on screen here is genuinely stunning. Like, not only are these two managed to like managing to capture like smoldering tone of like an action hero who's like, you know, upset about the way things are or is shooting somebody or fighting somebody. They also managed to get like the raw emotion of feeling love for one another, both platonically and in their friendship for each other, and also like people they pine after, this young girl they're trying to save. They also are singing full songs, right? Not phoning it in. We're not really even auto tuning it. It's pretty much just them full dancing, which is crazy. Stunts, stunt work. I mean, it's wild, like how much these guys are able to do, and I'm wildly impressed.
Yep.
Again, apparently they are huge talent, and these are people who Andy and I have not heard of. Part of the reason this movie is called RRR is actually supposed to be representative of the working script title, which was the initials of each of our people, our director and our two lead actors. And that's part of the reason it stuck, because no movie, reportedly, they've never all been together in a feature because no movie could afford them. And
Yeah.
like, this is the first time they've been able to rally and put together like these three incredible talents. Talent's so big, by the way, the director makes a cameo appearance in the final final musical number, also a really big one. And people apparently lost their minds when he showed up. Like, the director shows up in the feature, and it was like a huge deal. You know, like nowadays it'd be a cheesy cameo nobody would care about, at least here in the States. But good Lord, in RRR, anything is possible.
Yeah, this movie has so much energy, and it's definitely inspired. Like I said, it's inspired by kung fu wushu films, but also just by superhero films themselves. But there's just so much energy and action, and I was like, Marvel could take some notes on getting some hype. DC could take some notes on getting energy, and some of these action sequences. They're just so over the top. Like I said, there are some parts where it gets a little long and slow. You get some backstory, felt flashbacks that happen pretty late in the film. That actually works for me. The thing that works the least for me is like the romance plot. It's just so it's very like Friends level rom-com, but that's kind of the only thing that doesn't work.
Yeah, like there's definitely some struggle in there. Like I said, any film's got to have pacing, right? You got to have ups and downs. But I think the drama is where this movie, I don't know. It's a little cliche, right? Like Andy said, your opening musical number, they're explaining to you that like these guys are going to be friends, but they don't know anything about each other, and it's like it's just kind of goofy. One of them, like Raju, is like walking around with like a wanted poster with like a sketch of his suspect's face on it, which is his friend, and he's asking everybody in town, "Do you know this guy?" And the cat, like right next to him, is the guy. It's like something on the Looney Tunes. Like, can't figure out that it's Bugs Bunny in disguise. Like, and meanwhile, Beam like knows that there is like this there's somebody who's on to them, right? And they have to evade detection because they don't want to be caught in their plan to get this girl back from this wealthy aristocracy with this whole palace they got to break into, and this fantastic action sequence you get to about halfway through the feature. But he doesn't know who it is, and he has no idea that like it's his friend right there. That's the guy. Like, so it hurts a little bit because you know that stuff isn't really going anywhere. But I think you really get some good surprise in the second half of it when we get a bit of a turn for both of our characters. Beam is displaced, I should say, from his position, and he ends up having to go through a lot of like genuine hardship that Raju is often putting him through, because the two of them are fundamentally opposed to each other, even though they do love one another
Fire and water,
enough.
baby.
Enough to die for each other, like huge deal, right? Tons of chemistry. And meanwhile, like Raju has to like come to terms with like what his goals fundamentally are, right? And why is he actually working so hard on behalf of the imperialists? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it's really like a treat to kind of find out why that is. Like I said, I'm impressed at just how big this movie gets to feel, like from otherwise like a place I wouldn't expect something so large. I'd expect this from DC. I'd expect this from Marvel. Yeah, and like RRR makes it look effortless. God, they make it look easy to do something so much larger.
So one thing just in the side that I just notice reading. So there's a character played named Catherine Buxton, who she's like the governor's wife in the film. She's played by Alison Doody, who is none other than Elsa from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So
Yes.
Elsa is in this movie. I can't believe it. But yeah, there's so much energy in this movie, and the stuff it gets right, it gets really, really right, and it's just that's why you want to watch movies outside of the States, is to see how other countries do them, the way that they tell stories, the way that they create energy and hype and pacing and all those films, things that we know here, but just from a completely different perspective, and it's a completely different kind of ride that you go on.
Yeah. Overall, I think like RRR is something really special. Like I said at the open, I don't know who really to recommend it to. We'll get to recommendations in just a second, but just to kind of, I don't know, wrap this back around. Like, I'm really glad we had the opportunity to get together and watch this. I have heard some frustrations about its availability. It's worth mentioning. RR is only available in Hindi. It's available in English as well, and a few other dubs. Netflix has subs accordingly for Chinese, English, French, Spanish even. It is not available in Telugu, which apparently frustrated even director SS Rajamouli, who's very verbally said he thinks it sucks that Netflix doesn't have it available in its original language. We do too. Andy and I were watching it. We're like, man, it's a bummer. We still technically have to watch a dub. Like you're still hearing like different voices over our characters, but like even still, like I think it's something really cool. And it's one of these rare instances where like, man, Netflix managed to grab a tiger by the tail. They've got something really special here, and I'm excited to, I don't know, to talk more about it and tell people I think it's worth their time. But before we get there, Andy, any other thoughts or recommendations?
I think I'm ready.
Andy, would you recommend RRR?
Yeah, I absolutely would. It's such a fun ride. It's got, like I said, a very kind of universal, basic story about anti-imperialism and friendship and, love story, all those great things that we know about filmmaking. And it's just such an incredible and different experience from anything that's made here in the States. The action is incredible. The acting itself, they have to do a range from comedy to drama and everything in between. The dance numbers are phenomenal. The only thing I would say is that it's a little long, and there are some very clear breaks at the film, which apparently is for an intermission, which would have been nice to know. But watch it in maybe 2 or 3 chunks. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, RR is something really special. I think more people should watch it. I think this movie broadens horizons, and it is an incredible high water mark for what's possible. Like, and I'm sure there's things that are even better out there. This is just this is a part of the world I don't get to see a lot of movies from. So not only is it special to have seen this, like it's special to see like what else could be out there, and I'd be interested in watching more. Like I think it's really cool. I definitely need to go keep an eye on SS Rajamouli and these two guys. They're both fantastic. Andy's right. Also worth mentioning, this movie does have an intermission. It is not really in the Netflix version. There's a title card with no text on it, fades to black, hangs for 10 seconds, and then comes back. We just thought it was a weird break. Apparently, this movie is so celebrated. Not only are people singing and dancing in the aisles for it, Edgar Wright, a director who praised the feature, said that people even clap for the intermission card, something he's never seen before in the theater. Everything is cool about this movie. It's really rad. I'm with Andy. Watch it in parts. You are watching on Netflix. You have the ability to watch it in parts. I do think you should take it one bit at a time, but like it is a really cool feature, and I'm glad we got to talk about it here on the show. And speaking of talking about movies, Andy, what are we talking about next week?
We're going to be going on a break. Haven't taken a break in a while. There are no real big releases next week, actually. It's a slow week at the movies, which happens around this time of year. Let me just see if there's anything. Though the drama Close, which was nominated for Best International Feature, that's the only release I see on here. We'll be back on February 3rd with Knock at the Cabin, which is in theaters only, and that's M. Night Shyamalan's latest horror thing starring Dave Bautista. And also TBA, we'll see. We'll probably pick one of these Oscar nominated films to watch between now and then. There's a lot to catch up on, but we'll let you know.
We could definitely stand to watch Fabelmans, but there's 2 features I want to take a swing at first. Number one, I think it's super limited release, but I think Infinity Pool is dropping. in some
yeah,
places. So
that's
like
right.
maybe we'll get like one theater in the Metroplex that has it, and like I'd love to try to go catch that.
It's not
Or
even on the release calendar on IMDb. Wow.
yeah, I saw like
Forgot all
one
about
thing
it.
about it. I think it's coming out in like 10 theaters, like probably LA and New York. That'll be, that'll be the thing. But number two, we should go, we should see. There's something I actually want to check out before Fablemans. We should try to find After Sun. It's got to be somewhere. And it's
I
probably
think
like
it's
90
streaming.
minutes, right? Like that's a little feature. Like I can get into After Sun.
Yeah, I think it's available on VOD now.
All right. Those are my picks. But also we do need to watch the dumb Fablemans before. But the Fablemans is probably fine. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I just, I've got a stigma around it because I don't know. It's a biopic and it seems to be whatever. If you enjoyed the show today, if you like what we're doing here on Off Script, if you want to keep up with the Oscars, if you think we should have done RRR before then, let us know in the comments below. We are on Facebook where we live stream the show every Tuesday around 5 p.m. Central. We're on YouTube where we upload our live streams after the fact. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. You can follow us on all those usual spots. Our podcast in audio form, which may be the way you're hearing it right now, is available on iTunes, Google Play, Android, Spotify, iHeartMedia, all the usual podcast places. You can subscribe to us there to keep up with the show. You can also drop a white hot rating and review, the hottest rating and review. Usually, 5 stars is the one you go for, but it's up to you. 5 stars would be great. That would be super helpful. In fact, you should probably rate and review most of the podcasts you listen to. It's actually really helpful. You have no idea how helpful it is for us here at Offscript. And of course, you can check out our website, offscriptfilmreview.com, find interviews, other content we've done, see where Andy's been globetrotting on his media tour. He's always got something cool going on over there. And of course, you can write correspondence directly to us at mail@offscriptfilmreview.com. A lot of good things coming at the movies. I'm excited. It's going to be a good time, and I'm looking forward to the Oscars. Hopefully, we can find a way to watch them for the show. But that being said, thanks for listening to Offscript, episode 204. I'm Zach Lewis.
And I'm Dr. Draper.
Thanks for listening.